you think that the situation in US is worse, if you think that poverty is only meant for black people in the US, if you think that poverty is only meant for white people in the US, wait until I show you these videos you're about to see, because honestly, it's getting rough, it's getting crazy, it's getting what's every single one of us in other countries cannot actually explain. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. Let's just dive right into this video. Let me go ahead and roll out the clips I have for you guys. Then I'll be back with commentaries. If you've not subscribed, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Let's get right into it, guys.
Healthcare has come to where my patients need medicine and supplies and their insurance won't cover it, and here I am spending my own money because my patient needs it, and he doesn't have any money and he can't work. And the insurance won't even cover what he needs. And I'm sad and I'm sick and tired of it.
I'm at my wit's end. I cannot do this anymore. My mortgage company is denying my payments now, which is going to put me into foreclosure. They're literally forcing me into foreclosure because they're not accepting my payments. And they're saying that I am so far behind when I went to the online portal and it said that I had, and this was weeks ago, said that I owned for June 1st. And I already had $477 towards June's payment. And I sent out the rest. Right, and I got a notification in my mail that I had to come pick something up at the post office, which I did, and it's my fucking payment. Because the bank has told my mortgage lender to deny all payments, forcing me into delinquency, forcing me into foreclosure. I can't sell my house because my real estate agent says because of the mold, it depreciates the value of the property. So they want to mitigate the mold, which is going to take months. It's going to take months to get an estimate I don't even have the money to mitigate the mold. And I was going to sell the back 40 so I could get ahead on the mortgage, get the mold mitigated, build a tiny home so I could get out of the house itself. And I can't do any of it. I can't do any of it. And I'm so at my wit's end. I can't work any more hours because I'm already working 7 days a week. I just don't know what to do anymore. It's like a roadblock at every turn, and now I'm literally looking at foreclosure, which is, I can't afford rents. I'm paying $1,500 a month in a mortgage, and I'm struggling. I can't afford $2,200. I don't know what else to do anymore. I've tried everything and nothing is working.
Don't get me wrong, I love being single and I love living alone. It's great, it's fantastic, but fuck, it's expensive. I just spent $600 on brakes on my car, just on the front part of the car, because I couldn't afford all 4 brakes and axles and rotors and whatever the fuck. And then now I just paid my car payment, which is $500, so I just blew $1,100 in like 3 hours, and it wasn't even like fun, you know? Fuck. Sorry, it's just so overwhelming. Like, you work and 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 you work, and it's just to pay off like your basic necessities. And you can't, like, in this city that I live in, public transport, please. If I were to do public transport, it's like asking to get rate, and I really shouldn't be crying because now I have to go to another work event, and now I'm gonna be all puffy. I'm just, living is so expensive. Just keeping yourself alive and floating is so expensive. And what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted is if I were to take public transport here, especially for my job requires a car. I have to have a bunch of shit that I have to lug with me for work. And I can't do that with public transport. I'm venting. Inflation sucks. Just living in America sucks. Living alone sucks. It's great, but it sucks. Because you have to front all the expenses by yourself. I need a husband just so that I can live. So we can split the bills.
I'm 35 years old and me and my husband are moving back in with my parents. And I want to talk about it. Me and my husband have been in survival mode for 3 or more years. It's basically been one of us has a great steady job and the other one somehow manages to lose their job. And right now it's my turn. And this is the longest I've gone in our relationship without steady income. And it is massively impacting us. The economy is just getting worse. You cannot survive on one income. I have hit what I would consider a paper ceiling, which basically means no one wants to hire me entry level because they want someone moldable who's never worked in these industries, right? So I have my property and casualty license. I have my Series 7. I have my Series 63. And I have 15 years of experience in these industries. They don't want me, but I also can't move up. I can't move up to a better position because I don't have any of the credentials. I have management experience, but I don't have a degree. So I am going back to school for at least the next 2 years. And for the next 2 years, we are going to combine resources with my parents to make it work. And we have to swallow our pride and we have to get this help because otherwise we are not going to have anything. Let me tell you this. I know how privileged I am to be able to say that I'm doing this and that I'm making this decision. And I will tell you this as well. If we didn't have my parents, we would have no one and nothing. Like, we would have nowhere to go. We would probably be on the streets with the amount of help that me and, like, my mom has given us. Now, on the flip side, my dad is retired. He's now on a fixed income. You don't really realize how impactful that is. Like, you hear fixed income your whole life until one of your parents is on one. Now, my parents don't need the help, but they could definitely use the help. At this point, we are getting gouged by our electric company. Like, our electric has been turned off 3 times since December, even though we've paid them within the past 5 months $1,700. Our electric getting turned off last week is what spurred this. Because how could 2 households be paying $3,000 over the course of 6 months for infrastructure that's already there? Please don't be ashamed if you have this option. I think that it would be wise for a lot of people to take it. And there are a lot of cultures that have generational homes. And our culture, white people, have forced us all to believe that we need to get out on our own, have all our own shit, and basically live completely separate from one another. And it's not realistic anymore. It doesn't make sense anymore. Why the fuck would we keep 2 households running on money that we barely even have? I just think that at this point, nothing's going to get better at this stage. So if you have anyone that you can combine resources with, do it. Because I'm in a generation that me and my husband on our own will never be able to buy a house. And I know that. And some of that might be self-inflicted. And some of that is just the world. Everything is predatory towards the people who need help the most. Late fees and everything go to the people who don't have money. You don't pay your phone bill, they charge you a $70 late fee. If I had the money, don't you think I would have paid it?
About to be homeless in like 2 days. I don't want your pity or I don't want you to feel bad for me. But what I would like is for anyone to know what it's like to live in your car and maybe some essentials that I can pick up that's going to be super helpful. I already have like a little porta potty situation, but I'm thinking of like, I don't know, maybe some electrical things that I'll need for like charging stuff. I mean, I have car chargers, but like I really don't want to have my car like on the whole time while I'm doing it. I think my car charges while it's off. Any essentials that you think I might need, anything that will be helpful, even any places that I can go and like park to be safe. I am in California, so if you know the area, specifically Bay Area, that would be helpful. I'm gonna get a gym membership so I can shower and all that stuff. Any places not to go, any don'ts that you can offer, let me know. But I'm a woman, so I just want to feel safe. I want to feel comfortable. Obviously, I'm outside, so, but like, and I was already thinking about getting some like window covers so that way people can't see in at night. But yeah, I'm in California. If you have any tips, please leave them in the comments.
I see a whole bunch of people, I don't know if they're real or not, that's why I'm not going to pull the comments, talking about becoming homeless or houseless, however you want to identify it as, and how they're going to choose hospital parking lots because it's safer. And I just want to put this into perspective as a woman in her 50s who lives in an off-road vehicle. You need to throw this ideology of I need to stay safe out the window, because there is absolutely nothing safe about living in a vehicle ever. First of all, the weather. It's about to be over 100 degrees, which means it's going to be probably about 110 in your vehicle. And since most homeless people have a problem with detachment, you're probably hoarding as much stuff as you can from your old life in that vehicle, giving you even less space to live and to breathe. So that is probably the last thing you need to worry about, is where can I sleep that's safe? You need to worry about your health. You need to worry about how are you going to stay hydrated, how are you going to exercise, and how are you going to give yourself the quality of life you deserve? Because just because you're living in your car does not mean you don't deserve things. And if I can tell you one thing you need to master, it is going to be the art of detachment and get rid of all that shit in your car. You don't need it. It doesn't serve you. You're holding on to a life that no longer exists. Get rid of it. It's holding you down. It is going to be so hot. You have no idea what it is like to be homeless when it is hot. So if you want to think about safety, I highly suggest you start thinking about where you're going to live near water and with cooler temperatures. Because driving around the city you became homeless in is a trauma loop. And going from hospital parking lot to hospital parking lot, that's not safety. You're a moving target. That's what you are. And I don't know if a lot of you are in the understanding that being homeless is pretty much a crime in almost every state. Whether it's a crime or not, you are shunned, you are looked down on, the police give you problems, and nobody likes the homeless. So when it comes to, oh, I just want to feel safe, I'm a single woman and living in my car, nobody gives a Nobody gives a You are now home.
It is sad that it has gotten to a point whereby even someone that is in the hospital can no longer afford food. You can see, like from the first clip that I played, the nurse in question have to go and get food for her patients, right? It is also sad that a lot of people can no longer live their normal life that they usually live. We've been seeing this before. Yes, for those ones that will come for me and be like, this is not the first time it's happening. And yes, why are you always talking about US? US is not only the first place that people are actually suffering, blah, 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 like that. We know. But just that, you see the rate of this 2025 own, it is way terrible. Let's go ahead and continue this video. I'll be back with commentaries. Credit belongs to the original creators of every videos and stitches we use in our today's episode. Don't always forget that. Let's go, guys.
You know, y'all, I just saw something that touched my heart. I just saw a mom hooked up to a machine who states that she is giving her plasma in exchange for money to be able to afford her children's school clothes and supplies. A mom is giving plasma. This is what's happening in the USA. And I just want to say, as a former single mom myself, who was once a homeless single mom, I know how hard single moms work to provide for their children. I am absolutely praying for single moms out there. But I also want to add this. There are a lot of single moms who are finding that it is better to move abroad as it relates to affordability. There are many countries out there where you can go and you will find that the cost of living is a lot less than America.
Hey y'all, good morning. I just wanted to come on here and tell you guys about how absolutely feral the housing market has gotten because let me tell you a couple of facts. So I bought a house in 2021. My interest rate was 3.025%. We loved her. We'll never get her back. She is literally a figment of our imagination at this point. I was paying $700 a month for this house. It was 1,400 square foot. I bought it for like $125,000. It was absolutely perfect. Loved it. It was remodeled, all kinds of stuff. We ended up having to move because there was a mold issue because, things, if it sounds too good to be true, it normally is. So we lived kind of cush with our $700 mortgage until we had to move. And so we were going to buy a new house, and we literally looked at a neighborhood right down the street. Because you can't buy land. You can't buy land around here because subdivisions have all just scooped them right on up. So you can't buy land in Farmtown here in Pensacola, Florida, Milton, Florida, wherever we're at. Around this area, you can't find land anymore. So anyway, so we go look at this new neighborhood literally a mile down the road, because if you look at old houses or if you look at like old neighborhoods, if you try to find anything worth your time, you're not going to. So we're struggling to find houses that are less than $300,000, and I'm like, okay, well, literally these are trap houses. The floors are completely gone. We don't really know what's happening to the walls. Like, trap houses, or in the ghettos of ghetto around here. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was so ridiculous. So I ended up selling my house for $210,000. With that being said, we remodeled everything. We completely gutted it, remodeled everything. It was worth that money because we literally had to get everything out and put brand new stuff in that was very modern with the times. My dad's a contractor. Everything was great, right? $210,000. So I'm like, well, we could definitely live in something that's $250, $260, like a little bit extra mortgage. We can do it. We can do it. We can make it work. You can't find that. You cannot find that around here. And so we were looking for what's those called? Those little modular homes that just came to me. We were looking at modular homes. Those are over $300,000 too. So I was like, oh my gosh, that is absolutely crazy. Now, these are beautiful homes, and I will say that, but then you had to find land to put these modular homes on. And of course, you can't do both because, who has that type of money? So we literally found this neighborhood right down the street. Again, I'm back to this point in my story, literally a mile down the street. So it's not like we moved out of our like income area. It wasn't to a different area of the town. It wasn't anything. Everything was still the same school districts, everything. We bought one of the cheaper houses in that neighborhood because, hear me out, it was the best bang for our buck at this point, okay? We bought it for $360,000. We had money from our house that we put down on this. It was perfect. It was just what we wanted. We needed, like, this is going to be our home that we're going to have for a very long time. Forever home, probably not, but very long time. So we wanted to not have to do anything to the house. I did not want to remodel after our travesty of what happened last time. I wanted a yard. I wanted all of these things for my little family, right? And I was like, we can do it. It's going to be tough, but we can do it. And so we did that. And you're probably thinking, Nina, $306,000, that's a lot. You're right, it is. But if I found anything that was 320 or 330, 40, whatever, it wasn't worth it. Unless you were in the military and had a VA loan, which I think that's amazing that they do that. That's truly awesome. Or, the houses were built by not super reputable contractors in this area. And it was really just like my discernment. The Lord was telling me no on those, seriously. So I knew this was our house. We bought it. We are working hard. I mean, we do work very hard to make sure that we pay our mortgage and everything is great and stuff. I cannot imagine buying this house now because I looked it up on Zillow because we were just talking about how like housing rates have just like gone up astronomically. My mom is a building materials person, and my dad's a contractor. So we talk about this all the stinking time. My dad's like, it does not cost nearly as much money as they're selling it for. Like, they are ripping everybody off, right? And my mom's the same way. She's like, we don't sell these materials for, actually building materials have gone down. Like the industry has, it's gotten cheaper or whatever with certain building materials. So I'm like, what the heck? So I looked it up on Zillow just for like S's and G's, just like, he, who. And my house right now went from $360,000 to almost $420,000. I'm here to tell you it's not worth it. It's barely worth the $360,000. What is happening? The housing market is absolutely insane. That's firsthand. That is literal firsthand, like, from my own house. I'm seeing it. That is almost a $60,000 increase in 2 years. If we were to we wouldn't have even looked at this house. now because there's no way we could have afforded it. Hell, it's hard to afford it now. But I'm just saying, like, this is just absolutely crazy. I don't know when stuff like this is going to end, but it's insane.
I was thinking about this. We are the richest country on the planet, one of the richest countries. Why does it look like ass? Like, really think about that for a second. Like, when you're driving, if you're not in, like, Florida or California or the coast of, like, Oregon or whatever, it's like, this place looks like shit. And we have so much money. Like, I'm thinking of, like, Europe and Japan and all the architecture, like, across the world and how beautiful it looks. Why don't we have, like, rose gold buildings and, like, why does the Kmart's and, like, all of the stores look like shit? Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking in my head, I'm closing my eyes and I can imagine, like, like, look at China. Like, Shanghai, like, the coast, like, all those videos you see, that's, like, no joke, stunning, beautiful, high tech. You would think America would look like that with the amount of money that we have, but it just looks like, ugh, you know what I mean?
I don't know about you, but I miss being like regular sad about the world and not like catastrophically horrified every day by the world. Just me?
We just don't want to admit it, but van life equals housing crisis. This isn't a vibe, and this is not freedom. This is what happens when housing collapses and survival becomes illegal. Millions of us are being pushed to live into vehicles just to survive. And cities are treating us like shit. And for most of us, van life is the last resort. And we're being hunted for it.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living on the average American salary? I just watched a TikTok of a teacher who makes a teacher's salary. I don't know what state she's in, so I don't know how much she makes, but her 1-bedroom apartment is $2,000. And when she spends $2,000 on that 1-bedroom apartment, it doesn't even come with a washer and dryer. So she has to go pay an additional $2 every time she wants to use their washer and dryer. Okay, like, how does that leave her any extra money to spend? And then she said she had a $400 car payment, which some people were bashing her on that. But in today's economy with interest rates, that's really not that bad. And I'm sure she needs a dependable car. So you talk about teacher's salary, $2,000 in rent, $400 car payment. You got insurance, you got groceries, electricity. Like, I don't understand how people are affording life right now, and it really makes me sad for some people. You have people who are like her. She's single, she has her own salary, or families where it just works out best for them, for the mother to stay home. And if the father is just making an average American salary, how are they affording life without going in a bunch of debt? This lady who's a teacher started crying because she said she realizes on her salary and where she lives, she will actually end up in more debt. Then, like, she will just continue to accrue more debt and more debt and more debt because her salary is not matching the cost of living. And what's sad is I've seen people be like, just spend less. Listen, guys, the cost of living is rising and our salaries are stagnant, okay? So there's not just spend less. That's not the problem here. The problem is the cost of living is outrageous, and minimum wage in some states is still $7.25. Teachers in some states are still paid a ridiculously low salary, even though their job is super important. I don't know what we can do about this, but I'm just going on a rant because it really, really pisses me off.
I'm an American. I pay $1,600 for a flat that has no bedroom. That's 2/3 of my income. I'm an American. I work 50 hours a week. I don't have health insurance. I'm an American. I couldn't afford to have a child even if I wanted to. I am $7,000 in debt. I'm an American. My health is declining because I can't afford Whole Foods because that's too expensive for my life. I am very overqualified for my job, but no one else is hiring. I'm an American. I make my boss hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, while I can barely keep myself alive. I'm an American. I have never been out of the States. I have never been on a vacation. I'm an American. I make $20-some an hour. A livable wage here is like 30-some. Yet I don't qualify for government assistance whatsoever. On the days I don't work, I'm so tired I just sleep all day. I'm an American. My electric bill is so expensive I sit outside in the heat because I can't afford to turn the AC on in the damn house. I'm an American, and I fear I'm just an average American. I'm living the American dream.
So we all know that this economy has gotten really expensive, and I'm just curious. I will tell you what I've redone in my current everyday life. I'm just curious what you've done. So for me, I don't eat out. I haven't eaten out in 5 years. I cook everything from scratch. I have a garden. Now, I had the garden before this administration, but I doubled it this year so that I had more variety and more things to preserve to try to lower costs at the grocery store. I went to my doctor and had them put all of my medications to generics. They don't necessarily always work as well, but I decided I had to do something because my out-of-pocket for my meds was around $1,000 every 3 months, and I had to lower that. So I did that. I did that in February. And then I don't go anywhere for vacations. I do staycations because it's just not, I'm not outputting any money right now. I'm trying to pay off all my bills. So I'm limiting trips. So I try to plan ahead and plan my entire month. So I'm only going 1 day a month to the stores. I do have the luxury of working from home. So that is, I know not everybody has that, but I'm trying to lessen my gas usage, lessen the times that I go places, or if I try to go to places that are closer to home so that I keep that cost down. I have animals. I have 2 chows, and those 2 chows, I went through all of the things that I annually did at the vet and determined which one I thought was a risk and which one I thought wasn't. And a couple of their annual vaccinations I decided I didn't need to do. One is kennel cough. We don't go anywhere. They don't go anywhere besides this house. They're not going to get it from each other because it's exposure to other animals, and we don't go anywhere. Lepto, which is standing water issues. I didn't see that as a need because, again, we don't go anywhere. We live here and there's no standing water in my backyard. So there are things that I did to downsize and redo my costs, trying to deal with this. But I'm curious. I know a lot of you are struggling. I'm just curious what you've done to change the way you do things to try to address the rising cost.
A lot of people are going through the trauma of affording just housing, just living, just where they can actually lay their heads. Some people are getting to the point of even pretending to say, okay, the car is really comfortable for me to be able to live a full life. Some people are preferring to spend their money in the hotel because of some reasons or the other, and of which I believe if you have not seen it in the clips that I've rolled out, you are going to see it in some of my clips I'm going to be rolling out for you guys. How do people keep living like this and don't get frustrated? How do people keep living like this and don't just go ahead and end themselves in one way or the other? Mr. Orange Man, you have really done a lot to this country. Anyways, let's continue. I'll be back with commentaries.
It's okay. Well, there goes your home.
Yep.
And again, they offered no other type of resources, no shelter, nothing.
Nothing. They just pulled us over as soon as it hit 8 o'clock.
And
when we were already on the way to go, like we were already in the car ready to go, like everything was ready to go. If they just waited 1 minute, we could have been out of here.
And all your belongings in the RV are now on a sidewalk.
Yeah.
With your beautiful dog.
Yes.
Well, I'm really sorry.
I mean, that's how the law works, I guess, or I don't know. I really don't know. I just feel like they could have gave us 5 more minutes and we would have been out of here if they just would have got out of our way, you know?
People asking me all the time, like, yo, bro, why are you living in your car? Why won't you do something to get out of that situation? And I'm like, look around. We live in a world that's ran and controlled by psychopaths that lie, cheat, and steal on a regular basis. Everybody who's trying to do the right thing is miserable. I don't want to be miserable. We got one shot at this life as far as we know, and I'd rather be happy. And to me, happiness is freedom. And if that means living in my car up in the mountains of Arizona, then so be it. And I'll continue facing whatever struggles I have to face in order to get by and survive. But I'd rather be doing this than what I used to be doing, living in a city, working for someone else, paying way too much just to live in general. No thank you.
Oh y'all, this is my bed. This is what I sleep in. Been living in it for the last year. Now we have my power station, my little fan. Just chilling in the parking lot.
I've been sleeping under a lot of bridges lately. The best part isn't even the privacy though. Like, sure, nobody's gonna be coming down here in the middle of Iowa and seeing my tent under this bridge. The best part isn't even the fact that I stay dry in the rain. The best part is sitting on top of the bridge and watching the sunset, knowing I have a spot to sleep when it's all said and done.
Why would I pay for a campground when this is free?
Why LA is so hard to rent right now. I make $200,000 to $250,000 a year. I work my ass off. I have a 798 credit score. I just put my name in for an apartment house for $4,000 and I got denied. I wrote a cover letter. I got her phone number. We chatted. I told her my boyfriend's handy. I make more than enough money and my credit score is phenomenal. Why? I need to know. If there is anybody that could tell me why I keep getting rejected by these places where I have more than enough money to rent, I don't get it. It's so frustrating and it like breaks my heart every single time. Every single time. I am literally almost started crying when I got the rejection email today. And I know that's so silly, but like, you know, I get excited. I start designing the house and it's so exciting and it's a new fresh start. I love, love, love moving. The 4 places that we have put our name in have not gotten. I'm so confused. I do not understand.
The extraordinarily wealthy in this country, I don't think have ever experienced being at a counter at the grocery store trying to figure out, can the $40 I have left in my checking account until Friday get me this gallon of milk for my kid, fill my gas tank to get to work, and give my kid lunch money because you don't want them to feel the pain, and get the gallon of milk and the bread and the deli meat. Can it do all of that? Because the $40 really can't. And you as the parent know that. And yet a lot of these people will think you're lazy. Well, just work harder. And these people are already maxed out. They already have a master's degree. They have more education than those other people who say, we'll just work harder.
Got denied the apartment, and it's heartbreaking. I just want to know how anybody's supposed to make it in America at this point. I mean, it was $1,500 for a 3-bedroom. I have bad credit, so that's what they denied it on. But before we even filled out the paperwork, they told me they don't check credit, but they checked credit. I'm really beside myself because I don't know what to do anymore. 47, have worked basically my whole life, part-time at least, no matter what, so I could be home with my kids as often as I could be as a single mom, and got into debt during COVID, like so many people did with credit cards, and here I am, unable to qualify, even with my daughter on there as her income as well too. And so in my opinion, this means that we remain homeless. Granted, we're living with my mom, but it's still not our house. It's not our home. So to me, that means homeless. It's just, I don't get it. I don't get it. How is anybody supposed to afford anything anymore or get approved? I mean, it was considered low-income apartments, which are nice apartments. They really were. I lived there like 15 years ago when my kids were little. And if you can't qualify for that with some debt, then what can you qualify for? It just really pretty sad inside myself.
So what y'all's plan? Is it ride it out and see what happens? Go homeless or move the country? Like what? Like genuinely, dude, what are y'all doing? Because I don't know.
Hi, I know some of you are just as nosy as I am, and I love to watch these videos, so this is how much it costs us to live in Southern California for 1 month. This is the month of July. I just closed out our books. So For reference, we live in Southern California. We bought this home that we're in right now 1 year ago, basically June of 2024. The house is 3,000 square foot, just to give you a rough idea. It was pretty bare bone. We have since done a pool, new fencing, patio cover, concrete, grass, all the things. But it was pretty bare bones, but it's 3,000 square feet. So the house was $625,000, making our mortgage $4,500 a month, but we pay $500 extra, so it comes out to $5,082 a month. So for the month of July, we have no solar, we have a pool that we heat, and we've been running the air a lot because we're in Southern California and it's July. Our gas bill was $119.21. Our Edison was $400.29. Our Frontier was $89.99. Waste management, they took out $138, but it's for 3 months. So for 1 month, it comes out to $46.31. Vehicles, I drive a 2024 Ford Explorer. It costs $629 a month. His work van he rounds up and pays $1,200 a month. His 2025, this is his personal truck. It's 2025 F350 Super Duty. He rounds up and pays $1,200 a month. His motorcycle, $450 a month. Insurance for all the vehicles. We have 5 vehicles on it because we have another truck that's also paid off. Comes out to $750 a month. None of this is including any other expenses we did this month, like our fence, patio cover, anything like that. It also doesn't include any of the expenses that it costs him to run his company, like general liability, workman's comp, payroll, the phones for the company, literally none of that. Making our grand total $9,997.01 a month to live in Southern California. So I just became a stay-at-home mom. We are a 1-income household. I'm 24 for reference, and he is 28 for reference. So it's how much it costs a young starting family to live in Southern California. I mean, we do have a nice house. We do have nice vehicles, but I like watching these videos, so if you're nosy like me.
Living in America in 2025 feels like you're trying to breathe while someone's hand is over your mouth, and they're charging you rent for it. As soon as you get paid, it's gone. You buy groceries, and the bags are lighter. You fill your tank, and the needle mocks you. Food's up, rent's up, insurance, utilities, coffee. I mean, even your damn toothpaste is up. Everything's up. Except the paycheck. Oh, and everything's also smaller. Shrinkflation? Yeah, that's the way they rob you while smiling in your face. You're not imagining it. The box is smaller. The portions are skimpier. The price is higher, and you're supposed to eat it with a smile. This isn't bad budgeting. This isn't laziness. This is a rigged game where everyone at the top profits and everyone at the bottom is a slave. We're getting taxed, drained, and blamed every step of the way. If you feel it too, you're not crazy. You're just living in America in 2025. And it's fucking brutal.
It's incredibly difficult to live in America for so many people. Mostly because it's just a sad country at this point. It's a lonely country. I hear it from people all the time. We just don't have bonds. We don't have friendships. I can't tell you how many elderly people I talk to every day who just want to talk because they have no one else to talk to. They don't have any kind of companionship because it's just common now for people to grow old alone. But that's what life is in America. It's an act of loneliness. It's an involuntary vow of solitude. And I think it's one of the biggest shames because it doesn't have to be that way. People here are no different than they are anybody else, but for some reason we just don't want to talk to each other. We don't want to be friends with each other. We don't want to go do anything. It's expensive, sure. But for those of us who grew up poor, and I mean really poor, we never had money to spend to go do things, but we were doing things all the time. One of the things I'm very grateful about when it comes to my parents, one of the few things is that they were able to show us magic in life, even though we didn't have anything. Whether that's going to a park, going into the woods. Usually it revolved around nature because nature's free. For now, because these days we have to make everything a commodity. We have to monetize everything. There's no real escape from something attacking your wallet. And that's one of the reasons why people do seek out isolation and solitude, because being alone in the United States is one of the only ways to be free. To be by yourself, to lock yourself in your house where no one's trying to tax you. You know, whether that's an actual tax or whether it's just the daily expenses that you have when you're out and about. There's many people find themselves not being able to leave the house without spending $100, without $200. And
seeing our rent, we just got the renewal letter. You guys, we live in a 426 square foot studio apartment in downtown Chicago. And our rent, okay, this year was $2,108. The previous year, it was $1,930. They want to increase it to $2,649. That's over $500 increase. I have no words. Like, where did they come up with this number? I mean, we had already made up our mind that we're not going to stay in the studio anyways. We are going to move and look for a new place. Hopefully starting next week, we're going to start touring apartments, but over $500 increase for a 426 square foot studio apartment. I think this is because a new company apparently bought the building because we have new owners now. Like, we got a letter, I don't know, a couple of months ago that they're taking over the building. So yeah, I think that's why the prices are increasing.
It has gotten to a point right now whereby if you know that you cannot afford house and you feel like hotel is the best place for you to afford, do it. Because you see some of the clips I roll out for you guys, some person saying, oh, I stay in a hotel for the past 2 years, for the past 1 month, for the past 3 years, for the past 4 months, and it is even more comfortable. Just the fact that your things are going to be packed in one space and so on and so forth. But the thing is, you have to look out for opportunities that can actually better your stay. That is it. As long as you are sleeping and waking up, it is a very great privilege because, guys, I don't know. Let me finish my last clips, then I'll be back with commentaries.
House and trying to take out a mortgage, and no one seems to be talking about it. And if you're new here, I'm Theone, the lender. I've been a lender for 10 years. Hear me out. Over the last 2 weeks, I normally get like 1 to 2 like help me, my lender messed up kind of emails or DMs. In the last 2 weeks, I have gotten 23 of these requests, which is like very not normal. So many lenders right now in the last like month or two are messing up and pre-approving people that shouldn't be pre-approved, or simply they like don't know what's going on. And then I realized that so many people are getting pre-approved by lenders and not by mortgage advisors. And before you're like, oh, that's just a cute little title, it's like legitimately true. If you wake up every single day and you think I am just a lender, I'm just a rate dealer, I'm just a yes woman or a yes man, then like these are the types of like lives that you're messing up. If you were a mortgage advisor, which that's what I hang my hat on, like I'm an advisor, I don't just issue a pre-approval if I think like you shouldn't be buying a house, or if you can't buy a house, I don't do that. And the other thing I don't do is just say, sorry, you're not approved, sayonara. So many people are going under contract, which means they're giving their money to the sellers and they are not approved for that mortgage. And then the lender comes back to them like 2 weeks into the process of them being under contract and being like, oh, sorry, we can't do it. And a lot of these lenders are coming from big bank institutions or small credit unions. And you guys know how I feel about credit unions. I've made videos about it before. Sure, they have like super cheap rates or whatever. Okay, but like how good is an interest rate if you're not actually pre-approved or you're not closing anyway? If you are getting that weird feeling, then move away from that lender. Same goes for real estate agents, but so many of these conversations I've had in the last 2 weeks with 23 of these people, all of them have pretty much said, yeah, you know, I was feeling like a little uneasy when in the beginning they said this, or when they were like really pushing me to sign this. Like that's a red flag, you guys. That's a red flag. You don't have to understand anything about mortgages or buying a house to know that when you're buying something so expensive like a freaking house, if you get that feeling, walk away.
I see something disgusting. I just did a little bit of grocery shopping. Let me look, hang on. $106.70 for that.
I remember when I used to pay $60 for a bag. That's crazy.
My husband and I just bought a house
and I'm gonna show you guys how much it costs to live in California, to buy a house, and what the monthly mortgage would be. This is the house we bought. It was listed at $795,000. It is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, and 1,780 square feet. We did offer over asking. We offered $805,000, and they accepted it. And I know you're thinking that is so expensive. This is actually a really decent price because houses in our city go for $900, $1 million easy. So because my parents gave us money to put as a down payment, the loan amount that we got was $635,000. The interest rate that we got was 6.75%. So with principal and interest, that is $4,118.60. We did do a conventional loan because we put 20% down, so we do not have mortgage insurance. Our homeowner's insurance is through AAA, and it's $181.60 a month. And then our property taxes is $864.43 a month. So when you add all those numbers up, you get a mortgage of $5,164.63.
Right now, okay, I was about to get me like a 2-bedroom, but this is what I decided to do. At first, I was gonna turn my daughter's room into the closet, right? But then I was just like, wait, I don't even have a living room set because I don't be having nobody over at my house. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give her my bedroom, right? She gonna get my bed, my queen size bed, all that stuff, right? I'm gonna move it to the living room, and I'm gonna give me a king size bed, and I'm gonna set that bed up, okay? I'm gonna set it up. I don't need a living room. Ain't nobody coming over to my house, okay? I have a projector. I don't need a TV. I don't need no couch. I don't need none of that, okay?
On my series about living in a hotel for the past 2 years, I just realized I haven't given any kind of like room tour or what it looks like after living in a hotel for so long, so I will do that now. So this is a quick pass over, that's my cat, of what my room looks like. I didn't get anything ready, so this is just what it is. You'll get used to living out of boxes a little bit. I don't get into these too much. It's more clothes, like I put away my warmer clothes because I don't need them. It's getting pretty warm where I am. This bed used to be out this way, but I moved it, and I keep kind of my cat stuff here. He likes to lay on this bed a lot. This is my chair of clothes that I've worn, but I consider not completely dirty so I can wear them again. That's the bed where I sleep, so it's on the other side of the room. I like to be away from the window. It's less noisy. This is the entertainment center with the TV and everything. That thing is just a sculpture a coworker made for me. This is, I guess, the kitchen /office. This is the fridge and microwave from the cooking video. These have some dishes and stuff in them. And then I have kind of my food and dishes in this area, as well as some like office supplies and everything there. The bathroom is kind of split, so you have the sink and everything out here, and then the toilet and shower in there. This is also where I have to wash dishes, so I try to keep this counter space like really clean all the time. And then I have the litter box underneath the sink. And again, from the laundry video, this is where I hang clothes to dry. So yeah, it's not huge or anything. The only thing I wish I had was like a kitchen or something, maybe a bigger fridge or whatever. This fridge does have a small freezer, but it doesn't actually freeze anything. But the room does what I need it to do, and I've been happy.
So how is everyone buying a house right now? Because I just got off maybe one of the most humbling phone calls of my life, and I got quoted a 6.5% mortgage rate. Mind you, I do have an 808 credit score. I have 0 debt. I'm also a registered nurse, so I mean, in the state of Florida, which I work in, it's not great income, let's be real. But yeah, I'm also single, so one income. How am I supposed to buy a house with a mortgage rate that high? One mortgage payment would be more than one of my paychecks. So yeah, that's very depressing.
Our electric rates just went up 50%. My nephew has a ranch home that's probably 1,200 square feet, and his bill went from $260 to $560 in the last month. No difference in usage. The company just increased their rates 50%.
Everybody on my TikTok is flabbergasted as fuck because Georgia Power, what y'all really got going on? Can't nobody pay for this. Even if we can't afford it, you think I'm finna give you $400? For what though? Like, for what? Literally for what? My Georgia Power bill is $410 and they expect me to pay that shit today or it's gonna get cut off. What they say, light that candle up, baby. Cause I'm not. I know, like, that's not right. I don't give a if I did run it. That's not right.
Electric bill is $314.89. See, if you don't believe me, $314.89. That's crazy. Is anybody else's electric bill that high? This is the highest one we've had this year. And I remember in the summers when it used to be $150 and I thought that was crazy high. Now it's $314. Why is it so expensive? We do live in Kentucky, so it does get really, really hot here. But like I said, our bills have never been over $300 like they are now. We leave our air conditioning on 73 pretty much 24/7. So I don't think that's super, super low or anything. We don't have like a pool or a hot tub, although I would love a hot tub. We don't have anything like that we run. We just have a regular house. It is 2 stories, so we do have 2 units, air conditioning units. But you know, our house is only 2,400 square feet about. $314.89. To me, that is way too expensive.
This is not a fun topic, but as a low-income individual who just needed to find a place to live, shit's about to get really bad. People are gonna become homeless at very quick rates. I have a lot of privilege. I have people who can co-sign for me. I have good credit. Looking for a place was extremely difficult. This 3 times income requirement is insane. What do you mean I need to make $4,500 a month to rent a studio apartment? Excuse me, I didn't even make $4,500 a month as a teacher. And then you get down on your luck and get evicted one time, and you can never rent anything ever again. Every single place asked if I had ever been evicted. The number of people who have lost their jobs, who are going to lose their jobs, especially with unregulated AI, the scams are gonna get worse. The rent is gonna go up, while income is not going up. Homelessness is about to become a very big problem. That's why they took proactive measures to criminalize it. They can take those people and turn it into slave labor.
Let's start a thread. What's your electric bill? Mine was $203 for the month of July, which is $61 cheaper than it was last month, which was $144. Now, June was a very mild month in the Northwest. It was actually cold, is what it felt like, to me anyway. So the AC wasn't running too bad, so $144 kind of makes sense. What I want to talk about, though, is I made this same post last month. What's up with everywhere else charging so much for their electric? It was astronomical in some of the comments. Okay, some of the ones that stick out to me was California. California's broken, I swear. People are, over $1,000 easily. Arizona, another one. That one, same, over $1,000. And then the other one that I guess kind of shocked me was Illinois. Dude. Okay, I don't know if these people are trolling me or they're just, like, what are they doing in their house? I can see if you got, there's so many factors here. I don't know what they're doing in their house. Close the door. AC's just kicking up.
Moving back in with your parents is the new flex. And let me explain. Like, what if we stop for a second and just stop burning ourselves out on paying rent and paying all these useless bills on places that we don't even own? You know, you save money, you heal, you reset. You finally get to slow down. You finally get to move with intention and save some money. God willing, you got a good relationship with your parents. And I get it. Everybody's so quick to say, oh, you live at home, you live at home. But honestly, I think that is changing. I think that is quickly changing because people are realizing that this economy is not set up for you to live alone and for you to be single in this country. And honestly, I think it's smarter than struggling. I think it's smarter to stay home and make money and save money than saying, oh, well, at least I got my own place. Yeah, you got your own place, but you broke. Shit's changed. And I think we might have to bring back multi-generational housing because honestly, we Americans, we're the only one who live like this. We're the only one who clown each other for still living with our folks. It's honestly really stupid because if you can save a lot of money, you can combine your resources, you can get whatever you want. This consumerism, capitalistic society that America has brainwashed into our mind that you have to have your own everything is not normal. And it's not necessary.
Officially been a week homeless as a family of 7, and so far we're navigating it pretty well, I'd like to say. Okay, hold up. I just played that back, and that sounds way better than when I was trying to do it in the bathroom with everybody in the hotel room. That was not working. Okay, let's get back to it. Like I said, we've been navigating it pretty well. We've just been keeping to our pretty normal routine. I mean, it is currently spring break, and that's definitely added some chaos to it, but it is what it is. I actually enjoy having my babies with me through this time because I just feel like the more we're together, the more we can process everything. And we're just honestly stronger together as a family.
In case you missed it, we live in a hotel full time and we just experienced something we've never experienced before. I don't know if this is a Tennessee thing or if it happens everywhere, but they wouldn't allow us to stay more than 28 days in the same room. Apparently, over 28 days, you can claim residency. And we've definitely stayed in a couple of hotels for more than 28 days. So does that make us a Tennessee resident? If so, we're keeping our state income tax this year. Adam has had a hotel room in his name in Georgia since October of last year. So I'm not sure. Maybe we're a resident of Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi. I'm not really sure at this point.
Look at these walls. Look, you see this? This is a hotel. It's not even that big. We live in a hotel. We just got fresh linen. Do you get that at an apartment? No, you don't. We save money too by living here longer. Okay? And we can leave whenever we want. This is a hotel. Look at this. This is not an apartment. We live in a hotel. That's crazy. That's crazy. I like it. I never thought that I would want to live in a hotel, but I do, and I like it. Look at these walls. You see these walls? Hotel. You see this? Would you live in a hotel? I'm living in a hotel or an apartment because I don't have to pay nothing. I don't have to pay utilities. They give me fresh linen. I don't get that. I don't have to worry about nothing. Apartments, you got to worry about all this stuff.
So most of you don't know, but I live in a hotel, and I've been doing this for about a year. It helps to save up money, but this is my little hotel room. As soon as you see it, of course, as soon as you walk in, on the right side, I got the little hotel refrigerator and microwave. They gave us the double bed, and of course, that's the little sitting area, but we don't use it except for clothes and stuff. I went ahead and got an ice cooler because I drink a lot of tea, and when I fill up the refrigerator, it doesn't want to fit, so we got the cooler, and usually we put the milk in there too, but so I took off the hotel bedding, except for the sheets, and put on my own little comforter, and of course I've got our medicines and our little dresser right there. And, of course, we all like to have some good smells in our room, so I got Glade candles, and I've got Febreze. I love the smells of these, so that's my stockpile right there. And I'm a crocheter, so that's one of the blankets I'm currently working on. It's just a scrap blanket, and I put all my yarn and stuff in bins underneath the table because there's no place to really store it. On the other side over here, as I'm walking towards the bathroom, there's more bags and stuff and bins of yarn, but that little circular light and stuff back there is for our videos for TikTok, and this is how we cook, or I cook anyways. I got an electric skillet, cook a lot of fried chicken in there. I got my toaster oven, and of course the crock pot, and I went over to Dollar General and I purchased 4 of these cube stands, and I ended up making, our own little pantry. So today I'm going to be making chicken and noodles. It's like a soup, but it's just basically chicken and noodles. Cook the chicken all night, and then that's our little closet area. We don't have much clothes except for the stuff that we have for work, and not very much clothes. And I did a little organization up here on my pants for the toaster oven, you know. And that's the water I'm getting ready to boil here for my noodles, my egg noodles. And this is basically the sink in there. It's like my kitchen area. And then there's the bathroom. We did use our own towels and things. I mean, the hotel provides towels and stuff, but I like our own. But here's the whole view of the hotel. It's what we've been living in for a year or so.
You see why most people right now, they're not even hungry to go to America. And if you know, or if you've listened to a lot of people during most of these interviews, they will always tell you that, you see that thing called the American dream is already dead. Like, it's already dead. Like, Trump is making it more harder. He's making it more difficult for the American dream to actually come to pass. And it's quite sad that is affecting most of the citizens. And I really feel for people that really did not vote for Trump, right? But for people that vote for Trump, I'm happy for them because they're enjoying the best time of their life. Let me tell you guys, people that voted for Trump are really, really going through more hell than people that actually did not vote for him. Now, I'm not saying Trump oppositor during the presidency election. I'm not saying that she was the perfect person, right? No. But if you check the situation of things and how things are going right now in the US, you will know that there's more harm than good. A lot of people were surviving on the normal daily basis than now. And people that vote for Trump, just 30% of them, if not 15% of them, that can come out and boldly tell you that I'm still comfortable and I'm not complaining, right? But anyways, how is the situation of things in your environment where you are there? I'm not saying that we are in other countries are not also passing through this. I keep telling you, whatsoever affects US, it affects us too as people that reside in other countries, because we see some of these American people relocating to our countries and then saying that, I prefer to live life here because after all, what's the gain of me working over $4,000 every month? I can't even save, even if it's just $60, I can't save $100. In fact, at some point, some people can even work that $4,000 a month and it will not be enough. Before the end of the month, they're already going on credit card, they're already going on loans and so on and so forth. And of which, how do people keep living like that? You cannot keep doing that to yourself. You cannot keep living like that, because the main essence of living is at least, okay, let me know that I'm having something to eat now and I'm having something to rely on tomorrow. So if there is no means of relying on things tomorrow, at the end of the day, it's going to be bad. You know, a lot of people came up with this scenario of, oh, Americans are lazy, Americans do not want to work, especially the Black Americans, they are very, very lazy and so on and so forth. It's a lie. That's not what I've seen in some of this research that I've made. I have seen it that Americans are ready to work, but the problem is, as you're working, you're investing back into the system. As you're working, you're sending the money back into the system. And if you're sending the money back into the system, at the end of the day, you're not going to be getting anything for your own self, right? Because before you will be thinking of, oh, I'm trying to gather something for myself, you have collected credit loan, you have to pay for mortgage, you have to pay for this, you have to pay for tax, you have to pay for insurance, and so on and so forth. And before you know, you are left with nothing. See some people crying in the videos that I uploaded for you. See some people living their life in their car. Some people living under the bridge. Some people are just, their property is just being taken away from them. Some people, it's just a whole lot if you calculate what Americans have been going through on a daily basis. And this is my advice for you right now, right? If you know you're doing something tangible for yourself, please try add social media to it. That is what I will say this morning. Try add social media to it so that at the end of the day, it is best that you've not monetized yet, and I understand, but subsequently you know that, okay, you might monetize in the future and something might start coming out for you. Who knows? One of your videos might just blow up and so on and so forth. You understand? And apart from adding social media to it, also try to look out for other possible means that you can actually make money and add it up to your hustle, because you can keep living like this. It's not making sense. It's not even funny at all. You understand? Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. This video is just for educational purposes only. I stand a chance to be corrected. Wherever you think that there's a mistake or there's a mix-up somewhere, please do well to correct me. I do not leave correction. I take correction with my full chest, right? If you haven't subscribed, like, comment, and share. Every videos and stitches reason at today's episode, credit belongs to the original creators of those videos. And yes, with no further ado, I do have like I say in my videos, I'm going to be saying, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you. Mwah.